But now, this is one of the questions that I got from one of the followers there.
Hmm.
He's like, please ask this one. I'm like, okay, I will ask this one.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, can speaking confidence actually be trained, or is just personality?
God damn, yes, it can. Absolutely. And dare I say it, I've created a 12-week program to do exactly that.
Wow.
So I promise to take any nervous speaker and all the different aspects of speaking, different situations, different uses, different purposes, and give you the tools, the techniques, the strategies to deal effectively with each of these situations. You've got to then go out and do it. I can't just tell you this isn't buy a book, read it, and hope.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you homework, so to speak. You're going to come back and say that went this happened, that happened. Okay, well let's tweak it. Let's do this, and you're going to practice in the sessions with me. But absolutely, if you have the techniques and the strategies and the skills to do something well, you're going to become confident at that thing. And the more you practice, the more you're going to be confident in that thing. Absolutely. Any nervous person, I'm brilliant with nervous people. I love nervous students. They're always nervous students have always been my favorite. Not the nervous ones who are happy to stay nervous, but the nervous ones that see me and think there's hope here. And that's when you make that connection. And sometimes
Yeah.
it happens very, very quickly. I make miracles happen with those people. I love nervous people because I can connect with them. And you know why? I was thinking about this the other day. I am that nervous person. I am that person that has prayed my whole life for someone to notice my need and reach out a hand and walk beside me. And
Mm.
I know what it's like not to have that support. So when I see someone like that, my empathy just goes off the
Trigger.
scale.
Exactly.
And we connect. I've connected with people, with students so quickly. And that instant you're looking at each other in the eye and you think, we're gonna have a great week. We're gonna have a great couple of weeks. We're gonna make really good things happen because they see in me someone they can trust
Yeah.
to help them, to look after them. And I see in them someone who wants that, who needs that. And that's it. And then just brilliant, amazing things happen.
So what you're doing is
Nobody,
just taking advantage of other person's weaknesses and have it as your main strength. Take that weakness
yeah, I
and
think
now take
so.
it and now empower it.
I, I am at my best when someone lets me help them,
Yeah.
wants my help. I absolutely I just come to the fore. I, I was thinking, when I was doing drama lessons when I was 15 years old, and everybody was out the front doing their acting and their, 15-year-old GCSE
Yeah.
acting stuff, I was always the one who wanted to be in the control room. I was the one playing the music, putting the makeup on, doing the lights. And I wasn't doing that because I was shy about acting. I was doing that because that's where my thrill was. I have always loved to be in that supporting role. When I worked on the building sites, I was a great labourer. If I was working with a boss and say he was laying a patio, he would reach behind him and ask for a hammer. I already had it in my hand because I loved anticipating the fact that he needed a hammer in a minute. I've always just loved being in that supportive role. And when I get a nervous person in front of me, I love supporting them in being better and braver and
Yeah.
doing the thing, whatever that might be that they want to do. And nowadays, for me, that's speaking and communicating
In the end,
fearlessly.
it's about, yeah, that's all about communication, one, and the other one, fearlessly. Exactly.
Yeah,
What's the
absolutely.
what's the worst thing that actually can happen if you make a mistake? I mean, that's not actually bring
Yeah.
you a death penalty. I mean, no, right? But you
Yeah.
mentioned actually these type of things like you use that. You use this person weakness to make it like a their own power later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what happened then? Because that brings me to the introvert and extrovert students.
Hmm.
Is it quite the same, or you use something different there? What about any? Because an extrovert, it's something that very easy, you know. They're extroverts, they don't care, they talk and blah. But the introverts, not only because they are scared about making mistake, but they're very introverted. They don't like speaking that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So
They don't want to be the center of attention, do they? And I am
yes.
the world's biggest introvert. And you would never
Oh,
know it. You would never know it to see me at the front of the room. But that's because
cannot believe it.
I really like to be in
Wow.
charge, because if I'm in charge, I'm comfortable. If I'm not in charge, I'm not comfortable. Mainly because of the empathy thing. So if I'm not in charge, I see the person that is in charge failing to notice people who need them to notice them. That
Mhm.
moment of nerves goes by because that person hasn't noticed it. If I'm in a room for with 30 people, I'll tell you exactly how any of them feel at any 1 minute in the whole lesson, because I'm so in tune and connected with them all. So I am that introvert, and that again, you connect with people, you understand what they need, what they want. You
Exactly.
see somebody needs to move, they don't need to tell you. You can see it. If you're paying attention, you can see they're not comfortable. You can move them to somewhere where they are.
Mhm.
And when people see that you genuinely care in that way, they will speak for you. They will make that effort for you. They will come out of their comfort zone for you.
True.
It's about having that person in front of you that you can trust. And
Exactly.
if you have someone that you can trust, who empathizes with you, you can do anything. You can achieve anything.
That's it. Yeah, that's the long story short, and you did it. You made
Isn't
it. You
it?
nailed it. Exactly. And so this one, this question, the following question that I want to make, it's
Hmm.
actually a bonus because I'm inviting actually all my listeners and followers to those one who are still in that zone of being anxious,
Yeah.
scared, afraid of speaking. This question that I want to ask you is related to what you do, so they can have a little bit of what you actually do during your class. So, for example,
Yeah.
what is one practical technique learners can use today to reduce speaking paralysis? This is just like a bit, like a teaser of what you actually do in your class.
Okay. Can you give me a context? Where are they speaking? When are they speaking? Or are you just talking generally at any time?
Let's say uh, he is actually a person, he's an adult learner. He wants to speak a little bit more in his job. He is an English teacher, but he still have this fear
Is this in the classroom?
in the classroom, not with the students, but with the adults. When he's in this type of English
Th-
meetings, there is
So
always stays there.
with colleagues?
Exactly.
Okay. So in the staff room with his colleagues,
Yes.
doesn't want to speak up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is weird because it doesn't happen with the students, you know?
Yeah.
So how would you apply a technique so he can actually use it
Okay.
right now, for example?
So I think what he needs to do is practice in his own mind in the meeting. So close your eyes, imagine you're in that meeting, and say what you want to say.
Mm,
This is at home in the privacy of your own home, but say it out loud, speak it out loud, and do that often so that your mind and your body becomes comfortable with that context, with that situation, and practice that. That will begin to get you used to doing it so that when you actually get in there, there's a part of you that feels like I've done this before, this is okay. Another thing I do once you got into the room is reframe it from, what are you thinking of? Oh, I'm too scared to talk. I don't know what I'm talking about. All those negative thoughts that we have,
Mhm.
change that to I have a contribution to make here.
Mhm.
I can help these people with this. I know something they need to know. My eternal English tagline is you've got something important to say. We want to hear it. And everybody has something important to say, and we all want to hear it. So if
Yeah.
you're in that meeting, reframe your thinking. And then, of course, your next step is you've got to attract the attention, you've got to stop the conversation, and you've got to speak. So then I would keep it simple, I would keep it short. While you've been waiting, I would have thought about what's my main point I want to make, maybe two more key points that I want to add to that or to reinforce it. I talk a little bit about I did a video recently. Imagine when you're speaking, to imagine that you're reading an essay. And the idea was punctuate your spoken word the same way you would
Mhm.
punctuate your essay. So think about your key points that you want to make. It's there in front of you in your essay. And then attract attention. A very easy, non-threatening way is just to put your hand up until someone acknowledges you. That's non-threatening. You don't have to assert yourself too much. You don't have to, hey, 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 I've got something. You don't have to do any of that. You can add excuse me to that. If anyone wants to interrupt you once you've started, that's a very powerful signal. And if you really want to be brave, you can say, I can't hear you while I'm talking. And I love that. I can't hear you while I'm talking. So again, we go right back to the beginning. The only way you are going to get better at that is by doing it. So if this is happening to you regularly and maybe you're having daily meetings or weekly meetings, make a point of speaking in the meeting something that doesn't matter. So something that's not important to you, not that important to anyone else. I agree with that. Well said. I like that. Yeah, nice point. Little things that you can interject into the conversation that doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to turn their attention on you, but everybody is going to notice that you're being positive and supportive. And you're going to notice that you are speaking in that meeting.
Yeah.
And then you start building into that. Someone might turn around one day then and say, why do you think that? Or somebody's going
Yes,
to say, what do you think, Joe? And then you
exactly.
can join in and you can say your part. You don't have to give a speech. You can keep it short. You can keep it sweet. And you do what you are comfortable with, but always be aware that you need to be pushing yourself a little bit, because the
Mhm.
comfort zone is the killer for all of us. And if we're not pushing outside of our comfort zone, we're going to stay where we are. We're going to live in fear, and we're not going to accomplish anything that we want to accomplish.
Yeah,
We've got to keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. It doesn't have to be a big push. Just take that one little step outside every time we feel comfortable enough to do it.
true.
Today's the day. I'm going to step out. I'm going to say something. That's what I would say to that person.
That's I think that nailed it. I mean, for sure he's gonna be very happy. But if you all of you would like to actually have a little bit more of this is just like the tip of this
Absolutely.
impressive work that you do actually here. So anyone there, I really encourage everyone to contact John because this is something that you recognize, you see a person when actually works for passion. And this is what I can actually see here because
Yeah, thank you
uh
very much. That means a lot
this
to
is
me.
something, and yeah, and I gotta be very honest because one of the biggest problems sometimes that people have when learning a second language is teachers. Interestingly,
Yeah.
teachers are
Yeah.
the first ones actually to be like the first obstacle for these students. And most of them actually make mistakes unintentionally. It's not
Yeah.
that they want to feel make students feel bad or not heard or something, but they are the ones who actually make
Again,
students
it's a
more
stressful
afraid of speaking.
environment.
Yes,
Being a teacher is a stressful thing to do.
true.
And to keep it together with a room of 15 or whatever students every day,
Hi,
and
my name's John Freeman. I'm an English language and communication coach. I support non-native speakers, mainly in the UK, with their communication and language needs. I'm the creator of Speak for Success, a 12-week one-to-one coaching program guaranteed to make anybody comfortable in any situation by teaching them techniques and strategies that they can use in high pressure situations. So instead of when the spotlight hits you and the nerves kick in, you could be confident and speak with clarity and precision. You can find out more about me by going to eternalenglish.co.uk.
and not to make any mistakes at any time. It's impossible. We're all human, aren't we? Mistakes get made. And I think that's really one of the most important things a teacher can say is, hey, I make mistakes too. Look at me.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry I said that to you yesterday. That I know that didn't help you. Let's change that today.
Exactly. Yeah, the power of language. Sometimes teachers
Mm.
are a little bit, I don't know if the words maybe is too strong, but I would say arrogant sometimes. We don't actually just accept that we make mistakes. Sometimes it takes us to that point sometimes, but what you're saying is something really powerful as well. So your advice to those teachers, what would you tell them? Because they are in a class, 15 and sometimes even 50 students.
Yeah.
Imagine those teachers, 50 students in a class. Each kid is a different world. Most of them learn in different ways. None of them actually come from the same type of a family
If
way
you're
of.
if you're working for a school that thinks so little of their students that they've got you in a room with 50 people, then you should care as much as that school does, because it's impossible for you to care for all those people. So you need to give yourself a break and forgive yourself, because all you can do is the best you can do.
Yeah,
And that's an impossible 50 people, that's an impossible situation. Nobody's going to learn well in that situation. Completely waste of time for everybody. And if you really want my advice, I wouldn't work there. You can't work with that. Honestly, I don't know how they cope in secondary education in the UK when they've got 35 odd students in a class.
wow.
Because for me, yeah, I've done 23, I think 24 students was my biggest class. I
Mhm.
start getting uncomfortable after 15. You can't give people the attention they deserve after that
Exactly.
number. So I I think I've always had a couple of things right. I started teaching in 2014, and I've always, right from the beginning, thought I'm the most important person in the room. And I'm going to set up the room how I want it. I'm going to teach my class how I want it, because if I'm happy, they're going to be happy.
The
I've
reflection, exactly.
always I've always done that. And I think sometimes some of my biggest problems have been where I just haven't been able to get through to students and shift their attitude. And it's really bothered me. And I've had more experienced teachers have said to me, you care too much. Stop worrying about it so much. And it is always, if you let it go, you can't help everybody. Give the best to your student who wants it. I just, it's self-preservation. It's your
Exactly.
own sanity. It's your own stress levels. Teaching is hard. We don't have to make it any harder for ourselves than our employers make it for us. So we need to give ourselves a break a little bit and be kinder to ourselves.
True.
That's that's what I think.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more because the system right now it's actually a little by little collapsing. It's just like playing Jenga. The whole system is collapsing in that sense, and most of the teachers feels a little bit alone in that sense. 50 students, 30 students in a classroom is exactly what we've been actually talking in this podcast right now. At the beginning, we were talking about the one-on-one classes. Some people believe that no, it's because you want to make profit of it, but it's not like that. If we actually compare a 50 student class with a one-on-one class, it's a different story. It's completely
I can't,
different.
I cannot imagine being in a room of 50 students. I
Mhm.
just, I've never come close to that. It's just incredible, the thought of that.
Yeah. And imagine being, and not only in one class with 50 students, but being in that class for 8 hours,
Yeah.
7 hours straight.
Yeah, yeah.
That
I
changes everything.
found, I worked in Spain for 5 years
Mm.
and I've worked in UK for 4 years, 6 years now. Well, it's not too bad in the UK, but I what I found in Spain was that the owners of the schools are all like, we've got these rules. You must do this, you must do that. The students are the most important people. You got yada 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 yada, and the rules are like a mile long for teachers until it doesn't suit the owner.
Exactly.
Until something happens where that becomes inconvenient for the owner, and suddenly it's don't worry about it. And it just goes completely out the window. And I hate that kind of bullshit
Yeah.
from people. I don't do bullshit. If you care about a student, this is my empathy thing. If you care about a student, bloody care for them. Don't let it all go out the window just because it's inconvenient for you, and look after your teachers, treat them bloody properly. I worked for some great schools, but I also worked for some awful people when I was in Spain. It just horror stories of these people.
Yeah.
I worked for one woman. She would start off with 15 new teachers. She had three schools. She would start off with 15 new teachers at the beginning of the term, September. By the end of the year, she'd have none of them left because she'd sacked them all. For ridiculous reasons, she would just turn up on a Friday morning with your papers because she didn't like something you did, something you said.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
she'd stand outside your door listening to you teach. Terrible, terrible woman,
That's
horrible
what
woman.
actually make it even worse for the students. That's why we have actually teachers like you that can actually help one-on-one students because that's exactly the pressure that we have. That's exactly the
Yeah,
pressure that is not allowing students to learn properly. It's not only the fact that you're surrounded by 50 students for 6 hours straight, but it's also the fact that as a teacher, nobody's taking care of you, and of
yeah,
course, we're humans. This
yeah,
is
yeah.
a tick tock,
Even
tick tock, clock's
the the
ticking. It's a
the,
matter of
the
time.
education system in the UK now, in the schools and the colleges, there is just so much paperwork for the teachers to do now. It's all background stuff, more and more work that's not teaching
Yeah,
because they're just not respected the way they should be.
true.
Without teachers of all sorts, where would we be? Teachers are just the most vital people, and a good teacher really has an influence on a person, on a
True.
student, on a kid. They're just the most important people ever.
Hmm.
And we,
True.
we need to treat them better.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the movement here in this podcast.
Yeah,
I always ask these type of questions to all the guests because it is part of it. We are actually care about our students. We want students to succeed. We want students to come out of that bubble of fear and step
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and learn and come on. That's what we want. But sometimes the system, instead of like helping us, just pushing us down. No, no, you're not. No, 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 no. But if it's
Yeah,
good for
yeah.
them, it's not a problem.
Can I ask you, have you noticed a difference since COVID in students? And I'll tell you why I ask, because this is something that's shown up for me. So before COVID, when I finished a class, so if I taught, summer school or something, so I've taught them for 1, 2, 3 weeks. Every student in the class would want to, when I gave them their certificate, they would want to have their photograph taken with me. And now nobody wants their photograph taken with me. And these kids we're doing now, so if you look, I've just done 16-year-olds. So they'd have been about 12, 11 around COVID time.
Yeah.
And I think it's really affected them. And that's what I notice is the photograph. Nobody wants to take their photograph with the teacher anymore. There's that
Oh.
separation. They're not connecting so well with the teacher as they
Mm.
used to.
I think
Do you
that's what
notice that?
actually, yeah, 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 you're right. Because what happens is that COVID just locked them up there. They're just
Yeah,
locked in there.
absolutely.
And
Isolation for so long,
yeah,
wasn't it?
they totally forgot about how to socialize or how
Yeah,
to
yeah,
communicate properly without being afraid of.
yeah.
Yes.
Really, really notice the difference. And shyness in the classroom since then. So,
Hmm.
they don't want to speak in public now. They'll speak to you one to one, but they won't speak to the class anymore. Things like
Yeah.
that. COVID generation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sad thing.
And well, it's like that. And what we can do is just keep moving forward. And your
Keep
job,
supporting,
yeah,
keep
and
supporting,
help these
keep
kids.
encouraging. Yeah, yeah,
True.
absolutely.
So it's been a great, great time actually with you here in this
Oh,
episode.
thanks, Mike. It was
You
really
have
good
actually
fun.
enlightened us the path to many of us.
Oh,
And
well, thank
please,
you. I
would you
hope
like
so.
to help us by telling us your social media, maybe how can people find you? For sure.
I'm on LinkedIn. Um, John Freeman. Come find me. I'm on Instagram, at John Freeman English Coach, I think it is. You've got the links for both of them. Yeah, we've got eternalenglish.co.uk if you want to know
Perfect.
more about me and my work. And I'm always doing free workshops and once a month. And I've just literally been creating my next one this morning. And the next free workshop, free webinar, sorry, is going to be something like very early days at the moment, but something like uh, stop hiding yourself when you speak. And
Hmm.
it really is. It's all about everything we've just been talking about this morning. It's about how that fear makes every bone in our body, every cell in our body want to hide
Yeah.
when we can't hide and we're there, we have to speak. So it's all about why that happens, how to overcome it. There'll be a free
Amazing.
reset, everything in it. It's going to be really great. And that's absolutely free. So if you link up with me on LinkedIn, you'll get notified of that when I set the date later.
Amazing. I'm gonna actually just leave all the links in the comments
Yeah,
here,
thanks,
and
Mike. That's brilliant.
every post that I'm gonna be posting throughout next week because this episode will come out on Tuesday. So
Lovely,
Tuesday
lovely.
and Thursday, we're gonna have two parts. So throughout the week, I'm gonna be posting and I'm gonna be quoting certain things that you actually said
Oh,
here,
that's fantastic.
and we're gonna have it. So hopefully,
I've, I've
people
been
and the
I've been on
people,
Mike's I've been on Mike's podcast. I think I finally made it.
we made it.
Success is here, man.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much, John, again.
Thank you,
And
Mike. That was great. Thank you, everybody.
this is your home. Anytime, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.